Hello and a very warm welcome back to A&A Rock Shop, the hidden gem of Lexington, South Carolina. This time we are unearthing the mysteries of malachite. So first, as always, we are going to go over the common names that it's otherwise known as. And the first is going to be green Verditer. Next is green Bice, Hungarian green, mineral green, and mountain green. Can you take a guess what color this stone is? And so the common locations that you can find this stone is Egypt, Israel, Russia, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Australia, and France. And as you may have guessed, its typical colors range from a variety of different greens, from a pastel light green to a dark green that's almost mistakable as black. So as for the geological information, there is quite a lot to be said about this stone, and it may be because I'm just biasly getting more excited about the geological rather than the metaphysical, but let's dive into that. So this stone generally forms in the shallow depths of the earth in the oxidizing zone above copper deposits. It is also often found near limestone and seen paired with a bunch of different minerals. So the other minerals that you can find this stone with commonly is azurite, bornite, calcite, chalcopyrite, copper, cuprite, and oxidized iron. Now, the formation of this stone is actually pretty interesting. It forms as a stalactite, which if you've ever seen an icicle in the snow, it's very similar to that shape. That calcite water deposit slowly drips down and trickles and forms it, and then the botryoidal covering of it is the way that it forms. And let me show you an example of how that looks. So this is a good example of botryoidal effect, where it almost looks like a cluster of grapes is how I've found that it's often compared to. It forms in this rather bulbous spherical shape. But don't be fooled, it can be found in crystal form, it's just relatively rare. Unfortunately, I don't have a piece to show you for this, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. But the formation of the crystals is tabular, which means it basically looks like thin sheets of blocks that are interconnected when they grow together. On the hardness scale, this one is pretty soft because it rates at a 3.5 to a 4. And that definitely plays into the history that we're going to be getting into next. And just a little fun fact for you that I found in my research is that this stone actually passes the acid test in both hot and cold temperatures. So let me explain that a little bit more. Basically, when a mineral is exposed to a hot acid or a cold acid, it might have a natural reaction to it that looks a lot like condensation. This happens with dilute hydrochloric acid, so it is a pretty dangerous test to run, but leave it to the scientists to make sure that it's safe. But now let's get into the historical information. So for thousands of years, this mineral was actually used as a pigment, and this could be in paintings, often in makeup, which please don't do, it is toxic, and it was also used for glazing colored glass as early as 3000 BC. Its name comes from the Greek word mallow, which is in reference to its green color. And it was believed to be that when Egyptians had passed into the next realm, there was a field of malachite, and this is because they believed in vegetation. This meaning death and resurrection was the part of the life cycle. But what about the metaphysical information? I know a lot of you have been waiting for that, so let's get into that. First of all, chakras. It's going to be the heart and the solar plexus. As for zodiacs, it's going to be Scorpio and Capricorn. The planet is Venus, which is also the god that it was attributed to, so that is pretty fitting. And the element is going to be fire. So the most common use for the stone is its ability to bring about transformation. It encourages risk-taking, change, and taking that leap of faith that you need to bring yourself a better life. It also is a protective stone in the way that it reveals things that are blocking your path to enlightenment and better spiritual growth. It is also known as a cloaking stone in the way that it protects you and almost seems like you become invisible to negative energies. It's also very important for breaking unwanted ties, so that can be to a place, a person, a past, anything. It really can help you move on and grow from unwanted bindings that you have in your life. It can also help you attune to your energies to navigate that growth for yourself. So rather than just throwing you into this growth, it actually helps you understand what you need to do to make the decisions that are right for you and make the path for yourself. But ultimately, the stone is a stone of rebirth. That is about it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next week, and as always, have a great day. Thank you so much.